afternoon, judges and listeners. We are number 2. The presenters are Rella, Aaron, and Patty. The topic we are going to introduce today is People in Taiwan Love Taiwan.
Here's Taiwan, the place where we live. Nowadays, there are over 23 million people who live in Taiwan. And some of them are origins, but some are not. There are more and more groups of people come and live in Taiwan. And we will take the 3 groups such as the indigenous people, mainlanders, and new immigrants for instances, and illustrate how they make Taiwan so unique. And first, I will introduce you the indigenous people. They are the original people to live in Taiwan. And there are officially 14 tribes of them in Taiwan today, including Amis, Taiwan, Taiya, Yunong, and so forth. These original people make up about 2% of Taiwan's population. And the festival among the 14 tribes are diverse, but the Harvest Festival is the common festival among the 14 tribes. However, they have the different ceremonies and procedures to celebrate, but have the same objectives. And the people in the Harvest Festival, with their splendid attires, will dance and sing to praise their ancestors for blessing their harvest and safe in the year. And as to their diverse festivals and celebrations, let's take the Amis for instance. They are located in the eastern of Taiwan, and they have their own fishing festivals, which they will worship their ancestors and the spirit of sea for praying the harvest, safe from fishing, and also worship for rain. And as to the Sidik, they are located in the middle of western Taiwan and the middle of eastern Taiwan. They have their hunting festivals for a month around October and November. And it takes place for the New Year's coming, celebrating the harvest and appreciating their ancestors. And also they will hunt in deep mountains and then share their place to all the clansmen. In addition, the Aborigines in Taiwan usually live on fishing, hunting, and farming. The main crops are rice, plains, and potatoes. And they also hunt for deer and the wild boars. Hence, the food of the Aborigines in Taiwan are always from nature because they eat what they grow and what they fish, and always made by themselves. But most importantly, some of the indigenous people is still the ethnic groups who maintain the original features and views of Taiwan.
After the 1949, the supporter of Taiwan independence came to Taiwan after the Chinese civil wars. They are called mainlanders. The mainlanders made up about 10% of the population in Taiwan, and they are heavily concentrated in northern Taiwan, especially in Taipei area. People who fear the communist rule followed Jiang Zhongzhen back to Taiwan, and until the 1970s, they controlled the political system in Taiwan. The mainlanders are called Old Taro due to the similarity shape of the mainland China and the taro leaf. Sometimes they are also called honorable citizens since they have a hard time during the Civil War. In Taiwan, there are over 879 sites of military community, and most of the communities share something in common. Slogan against the mainland China and the former president's portraits are indefensible. Most mainlanders will plant aromatic fragrance in their garden, just like they did in the back of their hometown. In military communities, most mainlanders' children weren't familiar with Taiwanese, was sometimes being discriminated or bullied. Since most mainlanders are underprivileged with little salary, most Taiwanese girls wouldn't marry them. For easing the homesickness, mainlanders make cuisine like corned meat. Due to the little salary, the government provides provision like flowers for them for living. That's the reason why dumpling, clay oven rolls, and steamed bread can be seen regularly on their table. Rice cake could be also the representative cuisine. In the last 2 decades, transnational marriage has been growing in Taiwan. The population of new immigrants continues to rise considerably, and there are approximately 640,000 new immigrants in Taiwan. Most of them are from mainland China, Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, and Cambodia. However, trying to fit in a different country may be a rough patch for them, because these new immigrant spouses are usually from low socio-economic class and have little formal education. The problems we need to face are cultural differences, homesickness, education, discrimination, and marriage. The marriage problem means that most immigrant spouses are introduced by an agency, so the basis of their sentiment is not strong enough. To solve the problem, firstly, our government helps new immigrants cultivate skills for jobs. These are the courses of knitting and computer literacy. Also, we offer after-school special for their children. Children from a very young age can learn a different relation to the world, mediated by correct facts and respectful curiosity. The girl in the picture is learning Vietnamese, and the children are learning how to sing in Vietnamese as well. Besides, we promote multicultural activities. This is Thailand's Songkran Festival. Sparkling water stands for washing away the past. The activities help immigrants feel connected to home and also let us understand their culture. All in all, besides these 3 groups, there are still other groups in Taiwan. They help Taiwan form as a love story, and it still is. This love transforms us from an individual group to a heterogeneous family that shares respect and concern. People in Taiwan love Taiwan. Thank you for listening.
I have a question. When you chose this topic, how did you divide your subtopics? I mean, what kind of organizational patterns did you choose?
Based on our background, because I'm the 3rd generation of the Mainlanders, and Irene has a lot of friends who are indigenous, who are Aboriginals, and as for Patty, her mother is a Thai. So we choose different group and present